You're tuning in to AWANI tonight. The government and UMNO has no power to decide on Najib Razak's pardon, says PM. And a helicopter carrying 6 people crashed near Brinchang, Cameron Highlands earlier today. That's coming up. There will be no political interference with the judicial system in Datuk Seri Najib Razak's case, either by the government or UMNO. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said only the Yang di-Pertuan Agong can decide on Najib's application to be pardoned.
Kerajaan konsisten dengan pendirian iaitu kita tidak mencampur urusan mahkamah. Itu jelas. Urusan mahkamah, UMNO pun dah buat ketetapan. Kita tidak mencampur urusan mahkamah.
Ismail Sabri was asked to comment on rumours that Najib would be pardoned if Barisan Nasional and UMNO won the 15 general elections. The UMNO Vice President stressed that the decision on Najib's pardon should be left to the Judicial Review and the Pardons Board, which is chaired by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, adding that UMNO has no power to simply release anyone. Najib has filed the petition for a royal pardon on September 2nd, within 14 days of the federal court reaffirming his conviction in the case. He is currently serving a 12-year prison sentence over several counts of corruption in his SRC international case.
DAP has named young Shafura Othman as candidate for the Bentong parliamentary seat in Pahang. She is set to take on former MCA President Tan Sri Leong Tiong Lai, who has indicated his intention to wrestle the seat back from DAP, which he lost to incumbent Wong Tak in GE14.
Young Shafura won the state seat of Qatari, which is under the Bentong parliamentary seat in GE14, her first as a candidate.
She will be the first female Malay MP of the DAP if she is elected as the Bentong MP. Dan saya menaruh kepercayaan dan keyakinan penuh kepada beliau kerana beliau telah berkhidmat di kawasan tersebut selama 5 tahun sebagai adun dan mempunyai track record yang baik, sokongan yang penuh daripada pengundi-pengundi beliau di Dun Qatari, dan itu adalah satu faktor saya yakin beliau boleh membantu parti untuk mempertahankan kawasan Parlimen Bentong. We are not making decisions just based on observations. We have done survey, we have done a scientific survey on the seats, and we make decisions based on winnability. And from our survey, she is our most winnable candidate in Bentong.
DAP Secretary General Anthony Loke said dropping Wong Tak for Young Shafura in the Bentong seat is a bold and strategic move. He added that the party spoke to the environmental activists about fielding him as a candidate in Cameron Highlands for GE15.
There are a lot of environmental issues, and that's one of the reasons why we also suggested Wong Tak to take up Cameron Highlands, but he has declined. And but environmental issues is not just depends on one person. Okay? All our candidates are also concerned about environmental issues.
Loke also announced 3 other candidates for parliamentary seats in Pahang, namely Tengku Zulkifli Shah in Lipis, Cheong Yok Kong in Cameron Highlands and Chow Yu Hui in Raup. Tengku Zulkifli was previously the MP for Raup, while Cheong and Chow were the Tanah Rata and Trust Assemblymen respectively. Meanwhile, Wong Tak declared he will contest in the Bentong parliamentary seat as an independent candidate. Wong said he remained committed to continue serving the people in his hometown. He was nominated to contest in the national polls in 2013 following an understanding between DAP and his Himpunan Hijau movement. He said then DAP Secretary General Lim Guan Eng agreed that his candidacy would benefit Pakatan Harapan by winning the Bentong seat, but the party decided to end this understanding today.
Meanwhile, Parti Keadilan Rakyat (PKR) will field Nik Omar Nik Abdul Aziz, son of late PAS leader Nik Abdul Aziz Nikmat, in a Perak seat. He is among the 7 PKR candidates for G15 announced by President Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim today.
Anwar said the party's decision on Nik Omar, who was a former PAS member, was made to show that PKR was serious in featuring candidates with credibility. Nik Omar previously contested the Cempaka State seat as an Amanah member in GE14. This time, Anwar announced that he had been assigned a seat in Perak. Anwar also announced other candidates for the upcoming elections, including academics, youth leaders and former civil servants. They are former senior civil servant Datuk Zainal Azman Abu Seman, who served as the Perak State Secretary, former University Sultan Zainal Abidin Vice Chancellor Datuk Dr. Hassan Basri Awang Mat Dahan, UM Medical Faculty Senior Lecturer Dr. Nur Aisyah Maidin Abdul Aziz, former Malaysia Youth Council President Julfitri Johar, and Sabah stateless activist Fatin Amelia Fazli.
The Malaysian University English Test, or MUET, will now be held on 10th December. Malaysian Examination Council MPM CEO Adnan Hussein said this is after the original examination date fell on the same day as GE15 polling day.
Actually, there is no issue on the clashing dates of MUET on demand, MOD, and the 15th general election on 19 November 2022. As MPM already amended the set date from 19 November to 10 December 2022. MPM also has publicized this matter on MPM official portal on the 26th October 2022. On the 2nd November 2022, as a reminder to candidates, MPM will send both SMS and email to all candidates that are involved, and candidates are also required to download and print the new MOD slip starting from the 3rd November 2022. And candidates are to sit the test at the same centers which they have registered earlier.
He responded to concerns brought up by youth advocate Nurul Rifaya Muhammad Iqbal to Astro AWANI after many university students had voiced their grievances on the clashing of dates earlier.
I think the main problem is, even though they wanted to go back to their place after the MUET exams, it's not going to be an easy thing because, you know, most of them, they live in the area where it's actually far away from their center, from the MUET center. So, you know, there's actually 30 students that's going to take MUET in USIN, which is in Milai. However, some of them, you know, half from them is actually live outside of that area. So, you know, and there's actually some of these students need to book a ticket to Langkawi and then Sabah and Sarawak as well, knowing that the price ticket is actually, you know, every day is going to be higher. So, yeah, I think that's the main problem.
Ahead of the polls, we will be featuring Question of the Day to get your thoughts on the political scene in Malaysia. Today, share with us, would you prefer to see fresh faces or familiar faces as candidates? To tell us your answer, all you have to do is scan the QR code on the screen. For more, head over to undi.astroawani.com to answer these daily questions. Malaysia aims to cut prison occupancy rate by 2/3 in the next 8 years to make way for community corrections. Prisons Department Commissioner General Dato' Nordin Mohamad said the move aims to reduce prison population and improve rehabilitation of those convicted of non-serious offences.
According to Nordin, community correction will also help reduce recidivism among former inmates. He said for those who did not have rehabilitation opportunities outside the prison, their recidivism rate is at 15% compared with just 0.38% for those who underwent community corrections. Nordin emphasized that in order to protect the communities better, the idea should be to move from retributive to restorative justice. Malaysian prison facilities at present hold about 76,000 inmates against a capacity of 66,000.
A helicopter carrying 6 people crashed near Brinchang, Cameron Highlands earlier today. All the victims, believed to be Health Ministry personnel, were found safe. A Perak Fire and Rescue Department spokesman said the chopper went down around 1:15 p.m. Initial reports revealed that 3 of the victims suffered injuries, including a woman who fractured her femur. It is learned that the helicopter was on its way to Ipoh and had been carrying medical staff and equipment to the highlands. The Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia said a safety investigation would be conducted by the Air Accident Investigation Bureau under the Transport Ministry. We will go for a quick break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Women currently occupy a mere 15% of seats in Parliament. How can we ensure better gender equality in the Parliament? Izana Saleh, co-founder of Project Girls for Girls, speaks out on some barriers women face in the political arena.
There's a misguided perception that younger people and women are not as prioritized an asset as, say, the people empowered, the men, right, the older men. Because you think about it, when you look at political structures, for example, they consider women or younger men wings. But everyone else is sort of the holding company, right? Which shouldn't be the case. As Aislinn mentioned, we want representation who looks and sounds like us. And women make 49–50% of our population. We understand the issues. We go through it daily. And sometimes when you don't experience it, how do you legislate for people that need you to push for more, say, fixing of the double burden syndrome, motherhood penalty, things like that? And not to say you can't theoretically understand it, but we want women, we want young people to bring up issues.
Meanwhile, Undi 18 Communications Officer Aislinn Noel also points out the importance of fielding more young female candidates this time round.
There should be as big a variety of candidates as possible in order to represent as many types of people as possible, because Malaysia is such a diverse country. How can we have just a small percentage, a small group of people shaping the country when there's so many of us to represent? So I think it's important that we diversify Parliament and we continue to open up the candidates to more and more types of people, more young women, so that it's not just an echo chamber of the same ideas and the same opinions bouncing around and around. We need new ideas, we need people considering new things, new policies when it comes to the youth and when it comes to young women. So I also believe that in the run-up to G15, parties should definitely consider fielding more young women candidates, not just and not just to field them, but to also provide them with the resources and the funding so that they can actually win the seats.
Catch the full conversation on AstroAwani.com with new episodes of It's About Youth out every Friday to Sunday at 10:30 p.m.
For the first time, women outnumber men in New Zealand's parliament. The legislature body now includes 60 women and 59 men. This is following the swearing-in of Maori politician Soraya Piki-Mason as the newest member of the governing Labour Party.
The milestone places New Zealand among a half-dozen nations in the world that this year can claim at least 50% female representation in their parliaments. Other nations include Cuba, Mexico, Nicaragua, Rwanda and the UAE. Globally, about 26% of lawmakers are women. New Zealand has a history of strong female representation. In 1893, it became the first nation to allow women to vote. Current Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern is the nation's third female leader, and women currently also hold a number of top roles, including Chief Justice of New Zealand's Supreme Court and Governor General.
Before we leave you tonight, we want to hear your thoughts on G15. Here is the question of the day displayed on the screen. All you have to do is scan the QR code on the bottom left of your screen to share your thoughts. The results of these questionnaires will be revealed daily. The polls are nearing. Be sure to exercise your right to vote. My name is Farhana Sheikh. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again.